everyone, welcome to your PD and this is Shubhya. This video is for all the aspirants of Intelligence Bureau, and this video is going to be an elaborative discussion on case studies. What are case studies about? What are the important traits that you need to keep in your mind while solving the case studies? The most important portion which I'm going to cover in this video is the most probable grounds on which the case studies can be framed. So I have covered all those important dimensions in my today's video. Stay tuned and watch all those dimensions and prepare it accordingly. Lastly, I'll be even giving you some of the inputs so that even you can frame up on your own answers, like whatever the inputs are required. I'll be helping you out with that. But yes, I'll be coming up with a separate video too, where I'll be individually discussing all the case studies and their solutions part 2. But yes, the subjectivity is always welcome, and that is why we provide you the inputs also. And one more thing, before I start with today's video, there is a dedicated WhatsApp group. In case you want any kind of a documentation related to case studies, HR questions, be it the current affairs, psychometric ones, so everything is there. All the documentations are already ready and the WhatsApp group is already there. So you can just join that WhatsApp group. The link is there in the description box. Just click on it and be a part of that team and just prepare it together with us. So let's start with today's video now. Okay. So first is that I have even a previous video is there of mine where I have discussed that what is case studies and what are the important traits that you need to showcase and you need to avoid while solving a case studies. So here obviously we all know that case studies are the situational questions, some of the situational questions where we are put into that situation and we have to analyze that, we have to solve it out, and what it showcases, the decision making abilities of the individual, how much intelligence or the skills, problem solving skills you have, how you are able to present yourself in typical hypothetical scenarios, and are you able to, how you apply your knowledge, judgment, analytical skills to arrive at a logical and appropriate solution. So remember it out. Whenever you are answering or you are solving any of the case studies, you need to reason everything, that I would say. That always think before you answer. Keep national interest at the top. Display innovation and critical thinking in your solution. So you have to brainstorm, but always brainstorm in that part where your innovative ideas are put up in front of the others. Use technology if required, the technical jargons, that is a very good part. Answer should look like practically feasible and rational. Yes, it should not be an illogical one, but quite practical in approach you should be there. Avoid giving answers which are hypothetical in approach. So it should not be your answers are based on some intuitions, some kind of you can say any that is not even there in reality. So it should not be a hypothetical one, but answers should be actually based on certain logics. So rational thinking is most welcome. Revise the case studies provided below for the reference. Always gather information through intelligence means to solve any riddle, and coordination, collaboration will be needed to solve any situational problem. So let's start, and what are the most important case studies? I will be giving you some of the dimensions, and even I'll be providing you some of the examples like on what this dimension, what can be the questions that can be asked in your interview. So let's start with the very first, and the very first is your family is against joining IB. When your family is against joining IB, what is your take? How will you convince them? Let's read the very first question. Your family wants you to do a job in MNC where you get very good salary, perks are there, and you enjoy good work-life balance. Family members, including your parents, they don't want you to be a part of this secretive services like IB. They believe that your IB job may be quite hectic and stressful. Now, how shall you convince your family members in this situation, and how shall you handle this situation? So this is based on your family against joining IB. Second question, it can be that you're giving a situation that you're a married person and you have 2 kids. You're at middle level of your career in IB. Your wife is working in MNC, also having a hectic job profile. You both are taking care of your kids. She's working in Bangalore, but you're being transferred to some remote location in India for some important project related to national security. Now, either she or you are to leave it. One of you has to leave the job. You are from engineering background and can get good job in data analytics company, handling secretive data profiles on some clients, and salary is also good. You as a family can enjoy now work-life balance also and take care of your family. Now, what will you do in this situation? So, this is the second one which I am giving you the question. Third, you are working in IB and handling important projects related to national security. You are also leading an interdisciplinary team of some professionals. Your larger task is to coordinate and collaborate with many other agencies. You are at the peak of your project, requiring a lot of effort and time. You are the only son of your parents. Your father, who is 75 plus in age, is suffering from heart disease, and there is no one to take care of him. And recently, he has serious heart stroke, for which he needs you at home with him. How shall you handle this situation? So all these three were the questions, three parts, subparts were there of the dimension family versus IB. That either your family is not convinced you are a part of IB, or you are to be part of IB but your family is not ready for it. So what is your take on it? This was the very first dimension. Let's go with the second one now. I'm going to talk about some ethical dilemmas. Now, in ethical dilemmas, you can get the very first, it can be involvement of top politicians and officials. You might be asked to discuss ethical dilemmas related to intelligence gathering, such as compromising personal privacy or using deceptive tactics. In a counter-terrorism operation, you discover evidence that a prominent politician is involved in illegal activities. What would you do? Now, related to this is your ethical dilemma, what path steps you are going to follow. Second, it can be based on compromising personal values, making a difficult choices that may conflict with your personal beliefs or moral principles. So that is it showcasing that what personal values and moral values, like there's a conflict between both the grounds. What you are going to follow? Dealing with inhumanity, witnessing or being involved in situations involving human rights, abuses, atrocities. So you should be emotionally very strong, guys. It should not be that you are put into a situation and you start thinking with an emotional thought process. You should think logically at that point. Making life or death decision, facing the consequences of their choices, which can have far-reaching and irreversible effects. So these were certain grounds or certain parts which were showcasing some of the ethical dilemmas which can be portrayed in the questions, in the case study questions that can be asked to you. Third, it can be, now see, this is complete heading on your own, that it is counter-intelligence scenarios. What in counter-intelligence scenarios? The double agent. You suspect a known foreign intelligence agent as actually a double agent working for your organization. How would you verify your suspicion and neutralize the threat? So that is how you're going to verify the suspicion. It should not be that everything should be on your intuition based. You cannot go along with the intuition. You should be verifying your suspicion and neutralizing the threat too. How would you do that? A mole within the organization. A mole within the organization is suspected of passing sensitive information to a foreign power. How would you identify the mole and neutralize the threat? So same way, neutralizing the threat, identification of the suspicion, identification of the mole who is transferring, who is passing the information. Then is foreign interference. A foreign power is suspected of trying to influence a domestic election through social media manipulation. How would you identify and counter their effects? And then is your industrial espionage. A competitor is suspected of stealing trade secrets from your organization. How would you investigate the matter and protect your intellectual property? So all these were where you are getting or facing counter-intelligence scenarios, that you have to neutralize the threat, you have to identify the suspicion, you have to protect their intellectual property rights. So these were the important grounds on the counter-intelligence ones. Then another one, let's check it out with the technical challenges that can be faced. So technical challenges comes under the category where we can even discuss about cyber attack. A critical government system has been compromised by sophisticated cyber attack. How would you identify the source of the attack and restore functionality? Encryption. A foreign government has developed a new encryption method that your organization is unable to crack. How would you develop countermeasures or obtain the decryption key? The third is about technical surveillance. A foreign intelligence agency is suspected of using advanced surveillance techniques to monitor your organization's communications. How would you detect and counter their efforts? So it is all about the technical challenges which you can face in the future of IB, this workplace. So all these related to it, that how you can to restoring the functionality, obtaining the decryption key, or you are to detect and counter the efforts of the, you can say, the other organization or the foreign intelligence who is using advanced surveillance techniques to monitor your organization. Very important ones. Then as your complex situations can be there. So in complex situations, obviously the multiple categories are there. The very first is human trafficking. You have received intelligence indicating a human trafficking ring is operating in your region. How would you dismantle the organization and rescue the victims? So it is again a very, very important one. Terrorist plot, a terrorist group is planning a major attack on public event. How would you gather intelligence, prevent the attack, apprehend the perpetrators? So again, you can link up some of the ideas and I'll be providing you some of the inputs by the end of the discussion too. Then it is a natural disaster. A major natural disaster has occurred. There's a risk of widespread looting, civil unrest. How would you maintain order and provide humanitarian assistance? So these are some of the complex situations where the human ground in you is being tested. And yes, the inputs will be there by the end of the solutions. Even I'll be giving you complete solutions of these in individual manner in my separate video also. Then is your psychological stress based, the constant threat. Now you're always living with the constant threat of danger or exposure because it's a very secretive job and you are living with the threat. Isolation, you're operating in isolation, away from the families and friends for extended periods. Moral ambiguity, dealing with morally complex situations that may require difficult choices, making different choices. So they are going to put you in psychological stress and you have to comprehend like what you can do to balance or neutralize the stress and pressure which can be there in the future while working with IB, or you might think that it's easy for you to comprehend. So these are the certain grounds on which it can be asked, case studies can be framed. Then it is psychological and emotional trauma. So dangerous situations. So now I would be telling you that yes, there are some kind of physical and emotional toll too. So you are put up in the dangerous environments also. Working in hostile or dangerous environments, facing risk of injury or death, intelligence officers often operate in high risk and dangerous environment, putting their lives on the line to gather critical information. So here are some examples of dangerous environment they may face. So what are the dangerous environment the person has to face working in the IB? It can be hostile territories, operating in countries or regions experiencing political instability, war zones, obviously facing the constant threat of violence, bombings, military operations, terrorist hotbeds, operating in areas controlled or influenced by terrorist organizations, criminal underworlds, infiltrating criminal networks, facing the risk of violence, extortion, corruption, surveillance, being constantly monitored or surveilled by adversaries, putting their lives and those of their beloved ones at risk. Undercover operations, operations in disguise or under false identities, facing the constant threat of exposure and danger. Cyber warfare, engaging in cyber warfare, facing threats from hackers and sponsored actors. So it is basically where you're being put up in the dangerous situations, and you need to know that yes, these can be the dangerous situations which a person needs always faces. It can be long hours and sleep deprivations too, because you have a long workloads, irregular sleep patterns are always there. So it can be on the PTSD, that is your post-traumatic stress disorder, experiencing psychological trauma due to exposure to traumatic events. Intelligence officers, they even face PTSD, and here are common situations that can lead to PTSD. First is your direct exposure to trauma. In the direct one, you're witnessing the violence, you're seeing it out. You're experiencing violence, you're being physically harmed and threatened. You're involved in combat, you're participating in military operations, combat situations, and you're experiencing a natural disaster, witnessing or being affected by a natural disaster. But yes, there can be indirect exposures too. That is learning about indirect exposure, traumatic events, hearing about traumatic event happening to loved ones, repeated exposure to traumatic events, or you can say experiencing or witnessing traumatic exposures on regular basis. So it's not a direct one, but sometimes hearing about it, just looking or seeing those things, even make you feel miserable. So even that is the other side of these PTSD. Factors contributing to PTSD, it is intensity of trauma. So severity of traumatic event can increase the risk of PTSD. Individuals' vulnerability, so factors such as history of mental health issues, lack of social support, even the people can become more susceptible to PTSD. And individuals' coping mechanisms, how well an individual copes with stress and affect the risk of developing PTSD. Then yes, there can be some stressful situations also that you need to know, and there can be questions related to it. That is, interviewers may try to create stressful environment to gauge your ability to remain calm and focused under pressure. So they are trying to put up you in a hypothetical situation which is involving lots of traumatic incidents, or you can say stressful situations. I'll be reading out with you, and even you can have a screenshot and the documentation part. As I told you, you can join the WhatsApp group too, so you can just read it on your own, the documentation. The important part is to remain calm, composed, and how can you remain that? I'll be providing you that inputs too. But there is important thing that yes, you need to remain calm, and that is being tested. That how calm and composed, what is your attitude towards these situations? Like you are under intense pressure to deliver a critical piece of intelligence. How would you handle the stress and ensure accuracy? You're working on an assignment and trying to reach to the conclusion, but you realize that due to tremendous work pressure from some top body, your entire effort may go in jeopardy and may be wasted. You have no clue about who is obstructing the process. Lack of control and lack of information is keeping you in constant stress and anxiety. Living with constant threat of danger in the exposure, it can create a state of heightened anxiety and stress, and you're receiving the threats for you and your family. The nature of intelligence often works dealing with uncertainty and ambiguity. So you are very uncertain about the outcome of your efforts, and entire effort may go waste. So what's your response, or what's your take in that? Then it's your demanding workloads and irregular schedules. It can lead to personal, your physical, mental exhaustion. And you're working on a project which is further demanding a lot of efforts and timing of duties. And not only for very long, but at the same time irregular in nature. This is creating big issues in your work-life balance. How shall you handle even this situation? So you see that it is all about the stressful situations they are going to put up you in the situational situations. And some of the miscellaneous ones that I'm going to read it for you. That is involvement of foreign intelligence agency. A foreign intelligence agency is suspected of trying to steal classified information from an organization. So what steps would you take to investigate and prevent the theft? Infiltration. The other one, that you are tasked with infiltrating a terrorist organization. How would you gain their trust and avoid the suspicion? Counterterrorism. A foreign intelligence agency is suspected of planning a major attack on critical infrastructure. What step would you take to prevent it? Hostage crisis. A group of terrorists has taken hostage at government building. How would you negotiate their release and minimize casualties? Many of the incidents have even happened on a hostage crisis, and you might have seen number of, you can say, even the web series or the movies which have been framed, and what are the ideas were taken at that time. So you see that these are very much relatable. Cyber attack. A major cyber attack has paralyzed a critical government system. How would you investigate the source of the attack and restore functionality? Foreign interference. A foreign power is suspected of interfering in a domestic election. How would you gather evidence, counter their influence? Information leak. Classified information has been leaked to media. How would you identify the source of the leak and prevent future breaches? So now, these were all the important grounds on which the case studies can be framed, and I have already covered all with you. Now the basic portion is talking about the solution. Now, where are the solution of these case studies? The individual case studies will be discussed with the complete elaborative solution in my separate video. Obviously, I cannot comprehend all the case studies and the solution in a single video. I need a separate one. I will be coming up with that very soon. But before that, yes, I need to provide you some of the inputs through which you need to master, or you need to understand. Some of the inputs are going to be provided to you, that how you need to prepare for solution, and then the separately videos will be given. So this is going to be your approach, the approach which you need to measure while handling these case studies. So when it is about coping with stress and anxiety as an intelligence officer, obviously it is by maintaining healthy lifestyle habits, regular exercise, balanced diet, sufficient sleep, limited alcohol and substance use. Stress management techniques, deep breathing, meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, and time management. Seeking support, yes, talking to someone join a sport group, or seeking professional help, be it counseling, seeking therapies, and what all. Self-care and mindfulness, hobbies and interests can help you in engaging in a better way. Mindfulness practices, yes, paying attention to your thoughts, feelings without judgment, and even setting boundaries. Learn to say no when you are overwhelmed. That is a very important. People don't know how to say no, but you need to learn to say no even. Organizational support, stress management programs are there, EAPs, that is employee assistance programs, are even there, which are very much confidential, which are taking care of your counseling and support activities or services too. So yes, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. By taking care of your mental health, you can become better handle the challenges of being an intelligence officer. When it is about investigating the cyber attack, what are the things you can follow is, you can go for the digital forensics. Conduct a thorough digital forensic investigation to identify the source of attack and the type of malware used, the extent of the damage. Log analysis, you need to analyze system logs to identify unusual activity or unauthorized access. Even about network traffic analysis, you need to analyze the network traffic to detect the suspicion activity, data exfiltration. Malware analysis, yes, you need to identify any potential vulnerabilities. So these are what grounds you can take when you're investigating a cyber attack, the way I have framed previously or talked about the discussion with you. Containing or how to control the damage, when it is like, how would you identify the threat, what are the measures you will take to identify that what threat has happened or to what extent it has taken place. That is how you can control the damage. So you have to isolate the infected system, disable the network systems, back up the restoration. So I'm just giving you some of the headings as an input. Then it is preventing a major attack on critical infrastructure. So yes, first is understanding the threat. You gather the intelligence, identify the targets, assess the risk. So that is a complete portion. What will be your prevention strategies? You can go for the enhanced surveillance. Intelligence sharing can be there. Cyber security's measure can be there. Physical security enhancements, which includes the parameters like access controls, perimeter security, emergency response plans. Public awareness, yes, you have to educate the public also about the threat. You have to encourage them to report to suspicious activities. Proactive engagement should be there. Engage with foreign intelligence agencies and governments to address the threat and potentiality, prevent the attack through diplomatic or other means. Crisis response planning, yes, you have to go for that to minimize the impact of attack if it occurs. And some of the specific actions even, increased surveillance should be there, cybersecurity measures, physical security, public awareness campaigns, international cooperation, which is very, very important, and proactive engagement. So these are some of the specific actions. You see that I am covering some of the inputs which you can go for in the topics in the case studies which I have given before that. How to prevent sabotage and espionage? Yes, they are the both significant threats to national security and we need to prevent these activities. So a combination should be there of proactive measures and intelligence gathering is very, very essential. Like the prevention measures include physical security. It includes the information security. Even the subheads, you can just look through the documentation later on. And I'm just coming up in a very, you can say, quick glances because I'll be coming up with a separate video of all the detailed analysis. But here you just can get a look. Human security, intelligence gathering, specific strategies, which again come up with number of, again, subheads. Then is about coping with long hours and sleep deprivation. So you have to prioritize your sleep, right? Some strategies you can maintain or you can balance the challenges. Establish a consistent sleep schedule. So to try to maintain a regular sleep-wake cycle even when your work hours are irregular. Create a sleep conducive environment. Your bedroom is dark, quiet and cool to promote restful sleep. So it is like even a very short nap sometimes is very, very fruitful for you. And even like extending it for a long hours, it can go for a waste of time. Limit screening time before bed. The blue light emitted by screens can interfere with the sleep. Avoid using electronic gadgets for at least 1 hour before bed. Time management, prioritize your task, time blocking, and then is your learn to say no. That is your time management techniques. Then by the last, I'm going to discuss some of the technical tools for intelligence officers. So they are to rely on the most commonly tools which are being used for the data collection analytical tools, open source intelligence tools. So what are the open source ones? Geospatial intelligence, that is GeoINT tools. Signet tools, and then it is your measurement and signature intelligence tools. So yes, there are a number of the tools which even I've talked about. Last but not the least, about data processing analytical tools, they are the data mining and visualization tools. Then there's your natural language processing tools and machine learning and artificial intelligence tools. So you can see that there is a elaborative of all the things. I've given you the examples even. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the communication and collaboration tools are there, cybersecurity tools are being discussed, intrusion detection systems, SNOT, Srinkata, firewalls, encryption tools. So everything is there. Why I read the case study solution of very fast glance, the reason I told you, because a separate video to all these solutions will be there. These were just the inputs that you need to take into consideration whenever you are solving a case study. So this was an elaborative way of discussing a case study, what are the most probable grounds and on what stakes you have to provide the solutions even. Just wait and watch for the next video where I'll be providing you with the individual solution, and do not forget to join the WhatsApp group which we have created only for the people who are preparing for this examination. All the best guys, keep preparing and take care, have a good day.